A, B, C, D, we are here to play PUBG, and we're about to get 3/4 of the way through our entire tournament, and it certainly is heating up. I'm Parla, your host, and I'm joined, as always, by Andy and Natu. Guys, it's getting very, very exciting. We're seeing the rise of Ghost rising from the dead. Did the Ghost rise from the dead? Because the Ghost is
no, they're zombies.
The soul. Yeah, zombie gaming. It's the new name. But yeah, they've been showing a lot of prowess. They've got 2 wins out of our 3 matches today. Yeah. Whereas yesterday they weren't really showing anything. But other teams still massively in contention. Of course, FaZe still sitting at the top, and who have been kind of the favourites from the start.
And 2 to 6 were, Andy said it was like 30 points?
Yeah, from 2nd place to 6th place, there's 35-point difference. So it's still anyone's game.
Wide open, eh?
We need to remember there's 16 top-tier teams here. Like, everybody has their bad days, but as we saw from Ghost's performance, that anyone can do the same as they do. It took 2 wins, and we still have, what, 4 games in hand? So
5
games.
Yes.
5 games, yeah.
Indeed. So
not anybody can do it.
Anybody can still do it, and I'm sure the tension is ramping up next door, and things are starting to get hot. And talking about next door, Kelly actually had a chance to go backstage, so I think you guys should take a look.
Welcome everyone, Kelly Link here, one of your hosts for the weekend, and I am right outside of the PGL studios where the GLL Season 1 finals are going down. Thousands of squads went down to 64, and now they're down to 16. The top 8 NA and EU teams are fighting for a $50,000 prize pool, and of course, the opportunity to be titled the #1 PUBG team in the world. Let's go see how they're doing. So right now, we are about to go into the player area. We have dozens and dozens of players from the best 16 teams around the world. You can see each team has their own individual station, aesthetically decked out in the PUBG style. Right now, we're in between games, so the players have an opportunity to relax and chill a little bit. And on top of that, they have this nice little player lounge area where they have food and drinks and can just generally relax in between games, because 8 games in one day is intense. That is a lot of action going on. We want to make sure that these players aren't too stressed out. What's going on right here?
Oh, he's just such a relaxed player. This is how they do it in Lithuania. I think just getting the sleep in before the game. You know, rest is important.
How's your experience been so far at the PGL studios for the Season 1?
It's been fantastic so far. It's really a relaxed environment, which is really good for us. It's our first LAN, first one I've ever been to. You know, making friends, putting names to faces, or faces to names, and really getting to know people. It's great.
Outside of PUBG, though, are you guys having a good time in Bucharest? You enjoying yourself? Have you been hanging out with the other players?
Oh yeah, on the first night we all went out together and had a good time with a lot of the team, so yeah, it's good fun.
But now you guys are enemies, no more friends, right? You just straight fighting and killing each other? Yeah. Okay.
Friendship ends when the game starts.
Exactly. You can see past the window our casters here right now, with Lothar getting ready to do the weatherman. And oh, we actually got a special guest here. Tell me about how your experience has been for day #1 so far for the GL Season 1 finals.
Resident sleeper. No, I'm just kidding. I'm waiting for my games to start, so far it's been super fantastic to watch them from the couch. But yeah, I'm a caster. I can't wait to get into them. So there you go.
And here we are to make sure that all of you guys get to watch this PUBG action at home in the production studio. Here we have all the observers, our producer, director, audio, all the admins are here making sure that everything is going smoothly. And of course, all of this is leading to finding the best PUBG team in the world. Now, not only does that team get $50,000 and, of course, bragging rights to being called the best PUBG team in the world, but they also get this pretty sweet trophy. Right here. Bananas not included. Maybe I shouldn't touch it.
Yeah? Lothar, you think you're the big man? Look at these. Look at these guns. Andy, show them what you got.
I got
the finger of death.
I wanted to see the Finnish powerhouse.
Oh, we got Sizzle. We don't need guns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, exactly. You guys have the inner strength.
Don't need
courage.
to show off.
Going back to what we just saw from Kelly, the crimson-robed individual that she spoke to is actually their coach, and he's from the UK, Southampton. And this is the first LAN event he's ever been to, not just as part of a competitive team, but just in general. And so I was speaking to him yesterday, I had a chance, and he was just saying it was a great time. And so even coaches and people that aren't fully involved in the scene yet are getting these opportunities through PUBG, and I think that's fantastic, Natu.
Yeah, it is. What's the first time you went to LAN? For me, it was like 1990. I would say 8 was like the first LAN event I went to.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, actually. In London, the LAN culture wasn't so progressive. Back when I was growing up playing games during like the 2000s when I had like my PC and stuff, when I first started playing CS Source. Sorry, Natu. But, you know, there were always arcades around and stuff, and it's always been fun to be a part of the scene. And seeing that, like, grow over time and things like PUBG coming along and offering those new experiences and opportunities for people is fantastic.
And it's important, too. Networking, getting to know people.
Oh, that's what I love.
That's the...
Oakland was my first LAN that I played in, but before that, I've been just networking.
Having a good time.
Streaming for the Pyro gang, as you call them.
Yeah. My holiday is the fact that I just go, networking.
Remember a certain
open bars.
Katowice event in 2016.
Yeah.
Great networking for 4 days.
Great, it was definitely.
We were networking to death.
I think
100%.
you mean drinking.
Networking.
Oh, it's networking though.
Oh, okay.
Like it's social drinking.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that is correct, guys, and I'm sure you had a great time as we are here. Now we're pretty much ready to go with the next matchup. We'll be getting into it very shortly, guys.
With some rowdy commentators who are keeping noise in the other room.
Any hot tip favorites in this matchup?
I think Boogie. He's a hot tip favorite.
Okay.
Boogie's, yeah. It's the boys.
It's the Irish little touch he's trying to put in it, which is don't understand it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that as well.
It just comes with the territory, I guess.
I'm the quarter Irish guy.
He could keep.
I have the blood.
He's just trying to adopt himself from some Irish, basically, by living in Ireland.
Yeah. It's all right. He's got the accent. He's doing it good. But I prefer the Finnish accent. You got the Finnish language. Beautiful. Everyone knows it's amazing.
No, I guess.
You just swore on air.
I did not, no.
He did.
No, it will...
Whatever. Moving swiftly along.
Yes, exactly. No, I have heard that Finnish is extremely hard to understand for even other Nordic Europeans. And talking about that, we have Avenger with Boogie ready to get things underway. How's it going, guys?
How are you doing, Artie? We're just trying to cast some games in here. We're just coming in strong here with the Dublin. Now that's a Dublin accent, so there you go. That's an Irish accent.
Avenger is...
What I'm doing is very mild.
Is Danish harder than Finnish, or is Finnish harder than Danish?
Finnish is definitely harder than Danish.
Oh.
Well, not the people.
Danish is known as a Swedish with a hot potato in your mouth.
Yes.
We speak a bit faster, slightly faster than the Swedes.
Can you speak a little bit of Danish for all the people watching at home?
Husk at kigge efter lommermad, de skal nok nakke en masse gutter.
Sugar about bird.
All right, guys, it's the fourth match. We're about to get halfway through the day. Have some fun.
That we will indeed. It is our final match for us, but of course there's 4 more matches after this one here. So indeed we are at the 4th one of the day of Miramar, and so far it's been a fantastic journey here. Martin, leaving Danska aside.
Yes. No more Danska.
No more Danska, no more Irish.
No.
What do you think of the matches here so far, man? It's been so great to see teams actually going into their looting places without any worries. But when it comes to transitions, it seems to be a bit more difficult for some more than others.
Indeed. I mean, I didn't expect Ghost to take 2 wins out of 3 games here.
Crazy.
It has propelled them into the 3rd position, I believe. And yeah, they're super enthusiastic. And they really want to win this as well.
Yeah, they're having a good time doing that as well. Ghost Gaming are known to come back strong the next one, so they are coming back strong really nicely, of course. Not just the EU side there, Martin. Of course, the entirety of Ghost Gaming are doing pretty good. So, as we are about to enter the 4th match, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us. We're not at the halfway just yet, so there's plenty of PUBG action this beautiful Sunday. You've got plenty of stuff to do. Hang out with the boys in chat there. Put in your best emotes or your ha-has. I don't know, whatever emotes you wanna contextualize us in. Reduce us to a few pixels, if you may. But we will reduce ourselves to entering Miramar. There she goes. The big bad bird is in the sky. And we're watching her drop people left, right, and center. And mind you, Martin, this is quite a decent plane, with perhaps the exception of Ghost Gaming, who are going to have a harder time. So they might go actually Puerto Paraíso.
They might indeed. I mean, I think they're going to go for some of the vehicles down in the south here and move towards Impala. No Lead Gaming is another team that's going to have a really rough time going into El Azahar phase here. They're super happy for this drop. They're going to be able to, all 4 of them drop from Monte Nuevo and loot up and be able to survive that. Navi has dropped in the south as well. They're probably going to make their way towards Val del Mar. And everybody is basically just going to where they really want to go, of course.
That's what they're doing indeed. Now, let's have a look-see and watch the north side of Shoot to Kill are going to be the only ones in La Cobreria. Of course, Crimson have taken this time around Los Aigos and the prison area where Lockwood is seeming to be heading right now. Whilst Navi are going to be just north of them there. Might be keeping them from Valle del Mar. We'll see if that occurs or not. 3 teams as the same olds into Los Leones, Cloud9, FlyQuest, and Ronin Esports as you see this beautiful overview of this war-torn town. And story goes that there has been a prison escape. This is the backstory of Miramar, is actually that there's been a prison escape and that the inmates that have escaped from there, well, they were shooting people out of, no, they weren't shooting people out of parachutes, but they were, they started a riot on the island. That's why they had to evacuate everybody. That's why you don't see so many vehicles in Campo Militar, because all the army people took them down to try and contain this riot.
Okay, I did not know.
Yeah. Have a look at the flyers in prison. Go and look at prison and have a look at the flyers on the ground. There's some news around, on the newspapers.
Yeah.
They say big breakout from prison, that kind of stuff.
Okay, insane.
Yeah.
I did not know, but look at this.
Cool story, Bob, right?
Cool story, Bob.
Yeah.
Look at this plane, though, Bob.
Yeah, man.
What do you
circle, man?
What do you think?
Feels circle, man.
Feels circle. Ghost, as we talked about, they're going to make their way into Porto. They're not going to go all the way
Where?
to Impala. Porto.
Porto what?
Porto Paradiso. Paraiso.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Second try. It's pretty good.
We're just going to make names for all of them. Yeah. Well, Ghost here, they're going to loot here. They're going to loot up here. And Mikoi is going to make his way into the further north, taking the 3 warehouses here. And BS is going to be looting the prison. Have you ever looted this area? Do you know if it's that good? Is it as good as the myth?
It is not bad, but I don't normally go here just because of the harder, difficult rotations. I'm not as proficient as Crimson are when it comes to entering the circle and healing up and all that kind of good stuff. Crimson have this down to a tat, so they wouldn't have any kind of issue entering there. But with the circle showing up right now, something tells me that they would have much preferred to have went to Campo Militar instead. But still, they're going to make their way in there perhaps a bit later on there. That north side, well, I don't think it has actually anybody inside. Not a lot of teams in there. I think Hacienda is included where Lumbermill are.
Yeah.
And NLG. There you go. NLG are making the road to El Azahar.
Yeah.
El Azahar.
Yeah. Not El Azahar.
Not El Azahar. Thank you. Beautiful. Mikoi, in the meantime, made his way to... Oh, my God, man. I freaking love casting with you, bro.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Mikoi has made his way into Impala. Oh, you dirty birdie. And he's going to be quite happy loading that one by his lonesome. Nobody actually going to be challenging them on that one there. So Ghost Gaming have an easy time with the loots. And they could potentially go in late with perhaps Crimson. We'll see if that occurs or not. Adam takes a 2-man bike, found it with Uncivils. So they're going to be very, very safe on that one there as they enter the white right here.
They have decided not to keep looting La Capria and instead go for maybe Tora Ahamuda or Campo Militar in the north. So they left this early to take a greater position in the north side, which is a really good decision by them.
Smart. They've noticed that nobody went there. So they're going to be the first ones on. Lumbermill noticed the same thing, though, and they're going to be taking Cruz de Valle and hoping to loot it because it's not necessarily a holding ground, perhaps with the exception of the church that you see on the right, far right there.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily the easiest place to stick around, so Kane is probably just going to be, ooh, nice little trick there. Little backflip. And a backflip from the bike onto him, dealing a bit of a damage.
Yeah.
But, yeah, looting grounds, and that's about it. I wouldn't stay too long in this town.
No, I mean, this little town here, of course, it's the dead center or close to dead center, but he needs more loot. He has a VSS and a shotgun on him, some level 1 gear. He does need to loot up. but they are actually kind of known for having these really good compounds here. But when they have to move away from these types of compounds, where you have a lot of open space around them, of course, it's going to be a really hard transition for them. But they really want to have these outside compounds outside the cities. They don't like to go into the cities. They more like to stay on the outskirts of it.
Well, it looks like Kane is going to be stopping on the outskirts, indeed, making his way closer, perhaps, as he scouts that town and finds that nobody is in. Or perhaps just waiting for his teammates to arrive. In the meantime, in Torre Ahumada, Uncivils has his teammates back. I think it was two gentlemen that went in there, Adam Dids and Uncivils, on that dual bike. So they're going to be very happy with this loot as well. Uncivils doesn't seem to have that. Oh, no. Hang on. Give it a moment. Wait, let's go back to Uncivils, please. I want to see what did he... Oh, God, we missed it.
He got it out.
What did he do? Sorry,
he got it out.
Oh.
It was stuck.
Yes.
But yeah, he's going to get it out. Here you go. Uncivils.
The mystery of Uncivils will never be answered. It's unfortunate.
Nope. He probably wants the bank boss instead. No, he doesn't. They're just going to loot all this. They have more than enough loot for all the guys here. And the other boys are going to make it their way into it as well, I believe. It's a pretty good position here, taking it that early, so they can move down south instead of having to transition late into the zone here. Pentalol and their teammate, their teammates is going to make their way into it as well. Lumbermill is also going to make their way into it as well. We saw the map here shortly. And all the teams already started to transition towards this zone because this is a really hard zone. You have three major roads, and all these roads are probably going to get camped or have teams around them or close to them, gatekeeping everybody else.
Absolutely. As you can see already, teams are starting to meet up. Of course, not that close enough for an engagement, so Mirku's now going to be stopping by to take shots at Envious. So far, it seems that Envious do have another two-man further up the road, so Mirku's just going to try and make his way in. You will see a Wild Ward popping up as well. So they might be grouping up to make it as close to the center as possible. Lumbermill, in the meantime, have taken up close to Cruz de Valle. Interesting. I want to see if they take the church area or if they go somewhere else. Mirku plays it safe, though. He's not going to be taking shots. Just put that bug. Oh, that was good. That was really good. Straight up fire coming from this lad, and there he goes. Kaiska no longer for this game, and still the next shots connect as well on Caden. Left on half life, but he will make his way out. Holy smokes, Mirku turning up.
What an insane shot. He was low already, but holy shit, that first shot did connect straight onto him and left Envious to 3 players instead here. He's going to connect and engage with Vard here, and they're probably going to gatekeep more here.
That's what they will be doing indeed. For this time being, Rogue are going to be making their little loot pile there, see what they can grab. And as they do that, it looks like the rest of the teams are making their way in, with Crimson still playing it late. Ghost as well haven't moved in, so that tells me a little bit of something about their, not their movements, but their timings. Whilst the Ronin are up further north from them. Up on the western side, you see Optic 17, on the western side of the circle. You see 17 trying to make his way inside as well. And, well, they should be having an easy enough task getting into if they use the main road, as it doesn't seem to be camped by anyone at this stage.
No, they're going to be able to rotate as smooth as possible. Here we see McCoy as well rotating through and maybe even between Ronin here. Doc has seen him. McCoy's going to stop here and take some shots at Doc. Are they going to connect? Connecting one shot, connecting even more shots, knocking him.
What the
McCoy
heck?
Taking down Doc and finishing him right off.
What the duck?
What the duck?
What the duck just happened there? McCoy, really good aim control there. On a bike, it's not easy to connect your shot, but he makes it happen. And there he goes. Free loot infusion for him as he stops by in the middle of the road there to take what's his. And that he earned indeed. Nobody's going to be challenging him on that one there, but looks like Kinguin and Envious are finally at it. Gaxi is going to be taking Caden down and then bringing him to nothing, whilst Wiki Bookie from Lumbermill spots the Kinguin gentleman and will peek back from where he is, not trying to put in any kind of further shots, but this back and forth might end up with someone getting knocked out. Or
indeed.
Knocked up, as you might say.
Knocked up, yeah, indeed. I mean, getting a knock here in these positions, the only thing that might happen would be Kinguin push rushing this compound here. I mean, getting a knock this early in where these positions are, they're not really going to get anything off it. So they're just trying to tap and destroy each other's helmets and armors, trying to destroy them for later game as well, because these guys have a really good position, both of them. Kingun taking the outside top side with all their vehicles here, and Lumbermill taking that dead center location here.
They're going to be holding it. curious that they went to that place, Lumberville. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it works out for them. Cruz de Valle, defending it, not easy.
I do not know.
No. I mean, any kind of urban area is difficult to defend, furthermore on Miramar. So, yeah.
I think they sent
Interesting choice.
I think they sent Gustav and Kane into Cruz de Valle to loot, and I think they're going to come back with that towards them. Because being in those urban areas in Miramar, if the zone goes on them, it's going to be a good harder here. Grosser.
Yeah.
A favorite weapon of yours.
Yes. I love this thing. You cannot attach the compensator, unfortunately, on it, but it doesn't necessarily need when it's a laser with a level 3 vest and a green ghillie suit that you won't necessarily need. But it's a good crate there. That vest is going to provide you with a lot of protection on Miramar as it's open fields all the way. So you will definitely need it whilst you engage your enemies.
Unfortunately, it looks like none of these teams are going to get this because it's on the western side of the zone and it's far away. And but all the teams are kind of making their way into the zone here. Shoot to Kill is also in the zone. They're still in Tora Ahamuda and making their way a bit further south. And do you want to elaborate on that, Tora Ahamuda?
No, it's fine. It's beautiful, man. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's spot on. If I didn't know any better, I thought you were Spaniard. Really?
Yeah,
listen,
thanks.
Man, I'm not going to judge. Again, it's for you speaking a, what is it, Germanic language? Can't be easy.
The Germanic, I think
it's Germanic.
Yeah.
So there you go. Circle closing in here. Most of the teams have made their way inside the safety of the white. And as the next one will pop off, that will decide pretty much where the battle is going to shift heavily. And these rotations are going to shift quite heavily too. It's been hard shifts today, man. It hasn't been easy for a lot of teams. I was talking to NLG earlier. They were so disappointed on their positioning as they didn't get any kind of luck.
No
luck gaming.
The no luck gaming. I mean, the first map we had was kind of center, but in the later stages it had some shifts. Yeah. But this year we're going to see the next zone is going to be
hard shift, almost. Not really.
Little shift. A shift towards the eastern side. Most of these teams are already inside.
See a little shift or a little?
Little shift.
Little. Okay.
Nova is still outside the zone.
Boy.
Navi is still outside the zone.
Oh.
Cloud9
is going to have to make their way in.
Yeah, FaZe is going to make their way in from the north, I believe. Ghost in an okay position in the east, but this is going to go closer towards Tierra Branca.
Yeah, it looks like Lumbermill might make their way closer to Ronan Esports, as you can see them on your screen right here in an open kind of dip. But they do have some compounds to work with here. However, here's the thing on Miramar. Those compounds don't offer 360 visibility that well, so you're going to have to put one man on the outside, which in turn could end up with him being downed. Talking about downed, Adam Dids from Shoot to Kill is lost in the transition of his team at the hands of Opti Gaming. More shots come in from Hypoc here, but Uncivils won't see himself getting down to more than half HP. Perhaps only. Nope. Yeah, that's all that Hypoc could write. Whilst Jambawi and his team super far away from the circle, but they've got
8
Baiku.
First aids, 4 painkillers and 4 energy drinks on Pipers.
That's not bad, is it?
Oh, that's a lot of stuff.
There you go. That tells you about the personal loot.
Yep, it is, for sure, yeah. Huh? Especially with this the multipliers on the
exactly
and stuff. So they got lots of loot here. Optic 17 eyeing out Shoot to Kill.
I remember when I was 17.
Not so long ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Ah, you're being too nice.
Oh, sorry.
I was about 50. Listen, man, I feel like an old fart here. Every single LAN, I remind myself that I'm very old. No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
youth is in your mind.
Youth,
of which I don't have many.
And your aim as well, I guess.
Of which I don't have much. Oh, definitely don't have much of that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Some other people that has aim is No Loot Gaming.
Yeah.
They're probably averagely the oldest guys here. I'd say they're average about 45. No, they're not. They're more experienced than everybody else.
They're immortals.
They're indeed immortals as well.
Maybe that's what should be the org that picks them up. Immortals, the Brazilian one.
Oh, that could be indeed. A little drop here coming in between Envy and Lumbermill.
Who's going to go for it? That's the question here. I don't think either of these two teams. We've seen Envy is very, very shy with the drops in the previous matches, so I don't think they're going to be too eager to head into it. Lumbermill as well, a very strategically viable team. I don't think they're going to go for it either. There she goes. AUG with a 50 scope, backpack level 3 and a medkit. So yeah, I don't think these two teams are going to go for it necessarily. No. It is at a bit of a dip, but you need a bike to get in there. You should, at least.
Yeah, and I mean, depending on the next zone, these teams might have been shifted towards it.
Could be, yeah.
In the current states of the game, where we're in the second circle, strategically, it wouldn't be smart to go for in such an open environment here. all these teams are pretty close to each other as well. Like we see the map here. We have Lumbermill, we have Ronin, we have Envy, Rogue, all these guys. Optic as well on the middle towards the slightly towards the west as well. There is a pretty dense area in the middle here. Empty.
He's coming up close to Mikway. You see
saw
him jumping around there like a little deer in the headlights. Cannot avoid the shots. Mikway, though, will stay alive. Yimty doesn't miss that often. Here come his teammates to try and help him out, though. Profi has been knocked down and will be taken down by Yimty. Mikway stuck behind a rock there. It doesn't look like Ghost Gaming are going to be stopping by. No, it doesn't look like it. And he's suddenly got an idea that we heard.
Indeed.
He's going to be running away from that spot there. That nade misses him by barely so.
Miko's going to disengage as fast as he can from this fight because he just saw it, this phase that is he's currently on. And you don't want to engage the phase. They are really good shooters and they will hit most of their shots indeed. But Mikoi is running down towards Nordic Gaming meanwhile. Crimson here making their way into the zone here. They're still outside the zone.
Still outside. No problem whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just getting in there nice and cozy. Nice and easy. Looks like the observer was slightly in denial. Slightly not agreeing with them.
Yeah.
Just shook his head no.
Nope.
Or his mouse rather.
Oh, again.
Hey.
Here we go. Another one.
Another
a
no.
three-seater. Oh,
Yeah. Now he's
here you go.
Yeah. All right.
The next zone is going to close shortly, and
Yes,
we're going to see what's going to happen. Boogie.
And there she goes. Heart shift on the right side of it. Most of the teams are in there, but a lot of fights will happen over there on the west of the white. A lot of teams have to make their way through that place. Shoot to kill have an easier task. They're going to be coming in from Tierra Bronca, and that will see them going safely. But teams like Lumbermill, Envious, Rogue, and the Knights, I don't think they're going to have it so easy. Even Kinguin, they're going straight into Interrogate's crosshairs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a bit of a hard one. Mikway's still alive, though.
Yeah, and Mikoi, Turtle, these guys are still alive. I'm not sure if Balak is alive as well. It looks like they are disengaging from this fight, running away here, trying to survive this. And they're going to cross this road. Talking about this road here on the map, on Tierra Bronca here. Balak is going to get knocked from Hexeti. Hexeti is already above 20 kills here, and he's probably looking for that top killing.
He had 21 2 games ago.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
Oh, but he got a kill too early. Didn't have anyone last game.
True. Check shooter now getting peppered in by something. That's a shot that will connect. We'll see check shooter on his knees. That will be a closer as well. Coming in from something. So early aggressing, some early kills going left to right and center. Miracle was well caught off guard by something. Heard something fire, but he didn't look that way. Or perhaps he didn't see anybody here.
That was a shot to his face right there in the little free helmet. Super shot by them. FlyQuest and Kinkren here taking some shots at each other.
Yeah,
Interrogate is kind of stuck in here, but they are inside the zone, and Kinkren really wants to make the move here. Larsen.
Gosh, I remember Totality having won a game from that little shack.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just staying there the whole game. The circle shifted on him.
Okay. Larsen here.
Oh, there you go.
A bit of a loot gobbling here. He only has one gun, looking for another one. What is he going to get? He's going to get an M249.
Oh.
The car destroyer.
He likes playing that. Here's a bit of a fun fact. He doesn't mind the M249 whatsoever. In the meantime, Pybus will be taken down by Iba. So there he goes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say good night in Russian, but I'm sure the Russian gentleman.
I know how to say it in German, and it's Gute Nacht.
Gute Nacht. Ja, ganz genau. Iba taking faraway shots, and Moody headshot pop. And the helmet goes as well. Lucknar, though, takes Fuffins down, and some shots come back at Navi from another team. So they're going to have to reposition themselves. Crimson won a bit of a fight as well. So Navi are now caught between two teams with another member from Crimson pushing in from the potential backside, from the proverbial rear end. So see if they stay alive for long, because Eba is pushing in here, and that's a lot of damage taken. He's going to have to crouch. His teammate is close by to help him out, but look at Jambawi. Jambawi could make a play here as Pokemoto gets taken out by MBS. It is a knockout, though, just yet. Iba and Drainus might not look behind them. They wouldn't have any reason to do it. Jambawi surely won't fire at Shade. Oh, he will. And he gives away his position, actually. Oh, but he does. Oh, it's not him. It's actually Moody that takes him down. But Shade's spot has been opened here. Frolicker finishes off the kill on that Navi member. Shade is down. But at least Jambawi has been spotted. So Navi could potentially get out of this fight or take Jambawi down.
Indeed. This is the three-way fight right here. And Landoon from Nova is joining it, knocking Frolicker. So these guys are fighting on the edge here. Not really benefiting any of them.
No, it's a lot of fighting early on, isn't it?
Indeed. And it's because of the topography of the map.
Yeah, that's it. Circle goes sideways, and it makes you fight. Oh, Jambawi getting peppered in with shots. He's putting in some of his own, but Pokemon will take him down, but only shortly after. Lockwood will bring him to nothing. Jambawi will be brought down by solid FPS. That's an easy one there, but that need, Drainus has to run, and that he does indeed, but he gets knocked out of it in the process there. Iba is the last man standing for Na'Vi. They're having a hard time. They need to push forward. They're sixth at this moment in the current standings, so they need a good game. Can this be it? It surely doesn't look like it with NBS and Lockwood just on the other side of that smoke. And a res, I don't know if it's going to occur. It's a very difficult time to actually get a res. That smoke dissipates. Here comes the push from Lockwood. Let's see if he's going to be getting it. They should be hearing him, perhaps. Can he hear them? Yes, he can. But Lockwood seals the deal for the Russians, and they go down very early on as the 15th team.
Yeah. Cloud9 is now pushing them and joining that as well. Nova is pushing them and joining this as well. This southern side of the zone here is really busy. We have seen the new zone popped as well, and it's going to be a zone where we're going to see it going a bit further north here. All the teams already making this elusive, taking some shots here, finishing off Crimson.
Oh, wow.
And Crimson is now out of the game as well.
What the heck, man. Crimson taking a taste of their own medicine, getting surprised by Cloud9 in a very, very badly manner. Now, Cloud9 have that south side to work for themselves, and they could potentially enter from the east of the circle, which will be strangling quite soon. Jesus. Studio's falling apart. All right. Anyway, it does look like most of the teams are in it, though.
Indeed. I mean, also when looking at this map here, Optic is in a strong position, but also another thing to talk about is this big road that is basically 30, 40 meters wide. And if you have to cross this road later in the game, you're going to have a really hard time. So you really have to make
precise measurement.
Yeah. And this is the zone where you have to choose what side you want to be on. It looks like you want to be on the eastern side because it's bigger, of course, so the statistical chance of it going east is, of course, bigger. But Ronin here, staying on the western side, taking the top ground, could benefit them later if the zone pushes further west.
Let's find out. In the meantime, Lumber Mill will hold on to their position. They're Kane a bit off-stepped with his teammates on the other side of the road. And as you called it, it's not an easy task to cross the road to find the chicken. Why did the chicken cross the road? To come to one of these teams, we'll find out which one it is at the end of it. Kane will take his view, though, so he's got that going on for himself. Tries to get a bit of speed before he crosses the road, and now he will attempt just that. The FaZe are putting in the shots on him. Not for long, though. He will be crossing safe. And there he goes, grouping up with his teammates. And that's going to be important at this stage in the game because trades are a very, very effective way to stop teams from coming against you.
Indeed. And this is gonna, if this is gonna be a northern side circuit, it's gonna be really good for Lumbermill. But we have 3 or 4 teams already in this side of the town here, and it's really pushing away from them. The zone is closing, and meanwhile we actually see Nova trying to get into the zone, fighting Cloud9 and NLG right here. Solid taking some shots at Nova, trying to make his way in here.
I think Elusive just came close to NLG.
The Elusive is trying to join. He's trying to join the NLG party right now.
He's gonna hide behind that, but it's gonna be just a bit too late. RTR takes him down. In the meantime, Solid did land some shots on Landoon. So now with that, he's gonna push against the rest of them. There, Nerf Me Please will take him down though, and that's gonna be the end of Cloud9. Eliminated early on as well. Lucknar pushing in. Landoon could get the res in this situation. Nerf Me Please is already on the move. But as they push, they're going to be in an open spot there. They could take the house that is to their left because otherwise they're going to be peppered by NLG.
Indeed, and it looks like they're going to try to run for this. But this is really an open space territory as well. Between Optic and NLG as well, this is open fields. It's not a lot of cover, and they really have to make a good decision here.
There you go.
That's going to really change that. Bots taking out Lucknar. And Nerf Me Please is forced to run towards the zone here. He's going to be able to come into the zone. And Richie as well is inside as well. But they're going to lose both Lucknar and Landoon.
Slightly central to the previous is where the next circle is going to go.
Yeah.
As that one shifts around that part, it is half empty. And a lot of plain ground, so this might be an early enough game. 31 alive on this here circle, on the 5th circle. That's impressive. It usually ends up with much more players, but initial aggression was strong because of the topography, as you may call it, or as you have called it. And that is correct. King would now have taken sides with Optic for a moment. They're at the edge of the white, of the next white indeed.
Parents at the zone here. NLG is going to join in the next party as well, but FaZe really have the favorable position here on that top hill. You see on the top side. They can be able to maybe frag out all these players that are now forced to move outside the zone and push into either Lumbermill or FaZe. Shoot to Kill is trying to make their way in. FaZe is shooting at them and saying, guys, this is not the territory you want to go into.
Knights are moving in straight into the middle of the town there. And we'll see if they stay alive for long. In the meantime, some shots taken far away from Kingwin towards what I presume would be NLG. And, okay, let's perhaps, let's have a look at the fight between Lumbermill and the Knights. There you go, Voxic is going to be knocked out. Whilst Tripoli finishes off the kill there, Yempty's actually going to be finishing off Voxic. That leaves Dreadon alone. Whilst Gaxi finds a frag of his own against Richie from Nova. But there's not a lot of people left from that team.
Nope. Nova left here in a position where they have to cross 100 meters of open space, and this is really what Miramar does to you. If you take some mid-game decisions where you are leaving your vehicles, you have to run in open space. That is Nova out of the game. Richie and Nerf Me Please is outside, and Kingwin will finish them off.
There you go. Whilst Dreadon is still alive on the north end of the circle on the slower moving side, Gaxi makes sure that his teammates cross safely into the little haven that they have right here at the edge. Whilst Jesse Lore, from another perspective, tries to make his way closer by the mountain where Ronin are currently. Wooly also taken down by Truffeli from Lumbermill.
Yeah.
On the north side there.
In the north, we see Lumbermill and Knights fighting as well, while Kingwin is just moving their cars around a bit. Lumbermill is still 4 guys strong, and they're fighting with Shoot to Kill and Knights. We see on the map here, FaZe in a strong position. Ghost is still in it, sneaking his way in, Mikoi. And, I mean, Ronin here taking some shots at FaZe as well.
Huh? That they are indeed. Dreadon tries to make his way forward. He knows exactly where his enemies are, as you can see on the map there. And as he inches forward, he might be taken down. Let's see if that occurs or not. It looks like 17 has taken down Gisleo from Envious. Also, Pentalo finally falling down from Shoot to Kill, and Civils as well. 8 teams remain now, and FaZe half the circle. They have a very decent chance at winning this one here.
Indeed, FaZe is straight into the circle. There is a slight hard shift towards them, favoring them extremely much here. Not like they needed it. There we go. They're indeed in the top position here. FaZe taking shots at Ronin, FaZe taking shots at everybody, and now Lumbermill will have to make that move as well.
It will. Gaxi though catches off Hitwork coming up close. At the end of that truck, and there's the move past. Gaxi does not close into the kill there. Hypok will be helping out his teammate. In the meantime, he does manage to get inside, but Vard has the other side flank. And that will be 17. That's up to shoot here. Gaxi gets himself knocked out by Hitroar. Putting from the backside, but Yempty. Actually, no, sorry. Hitroar does fall at the hands of Vard. That's another team eliminated here with 17 falling down at the hands of Miracle. 5 left alive. Kingwin 4 strong. Lumbermill 4 strong. NLG as well as FaZe Clan. But FaZe Clan have the better chance at this. But NLG are slowly creeping in as well.
Yeah, NLG, they had a really good position from the start of these phases, and they were able to keep their cars. They now attack this kind of mountain here, mountainside ridge, where FaZe is already in the northern side, and they can easily join them later. It looks like Mikoi was killed as well, so that is Ghost out on 6th, leaving us 19 players alive with only 5 teams. So a lot of people standing, a lot of teams standing for 3-man strong.
That they are indeed approaching, though. On the other side is Kingwin, who could potentially see them damaged. Know exactly where that team is. I cannot see Lumbermill crossing. Oh, they've got smokes. They've made it to the other side of the road there, but I don't think they're all going to be making it. Turfeli gets knocked himself out at the hands of FaZe. First FaZe indeed dies, but Kate will steal the frag, so that FaZe does not get the extra point there. First FaZe finds the frag on Wookie. Bookie, though, and just one guy from Lumbermill has crossed the road there. Kate as well knocked himself out. That's just Gustav. That is just Gustav on the other side of the road, and they know of his position, but for now they cannot focus onto him. Kate will die at the hands of Gaxi here, it seems. So yeah. FaZe again denied that kill as well.
And in the southern side, we see No Loot Gaming actually pushing here on the minimap. We see them pushing Kingwin.
Oh, yeah.
Look here on the south side here. It's going to be a full-on 4v4 here. No Loot Gaming versus Kingwin right now.
Oh, and here goes Vard, the first casualty of this fight there. Janssen will close the deal as well. But Larson has the M249. Can he find the frags, though? NLG are coming in from the same spot. Oh, and that need might do just enough. But Miracle in the meantime takes Janssen and Artie down. Just one man left alive. There's just going to be outsider in this battle. He has a long ways to go. With Butts coming in from the side there. Gaxi's going to go for the quick press here. And that's going to be them wiped. NLG are out at the hands of Miracle. Great performance out of him. And that will see Kingwin staying 3 strong against a 4 strong phase. Whilst Lumbermill was eliminated by Yempty.
Fantastic.
Yempty.
Fantastic defending here from Kingwin, being able to kill all 4 of Optic, stand 4-man strong. Yempty here, so low on HP.
Oh, he does have.
Oh, he does, yeah. It didn't update yet. Here we're going to see some smoke. It's going to be a full-on 3 versus 4. 2 teams left alive, Kingwin and FaZe.
And FaZe are already on the prowl. They want to keep this enemy team outside there. Kingwin might not have the chance to move in. Let's watch Mixie and Fuzzface. Yempty is not doing much from here, I feel like. Okay, there we go. Mixie is pushing into the side here. Might be caught off guard. He's not looking at the right angle here. He might be spotted. Indeed, he gets knocked out. Fuzzface wasn't close enough to trade with him. And that will see a 3v3 situation effectively. Fuzzface is on the back foot there. Hack City's going to be joining him soon as Yempty climbs up the hall onto the hill. This is becoming difficult for FaZe. It looked good for a moment.
It did indeed. Now it's a 3v3. They have the new zone here. Fuzz did pull back because he saw the new zone. He's going to try to get the best position in the new zone, which is now leaving Kingwin to having to make a play right here. Miraku is trying for the flank here, but Fuzzface has this really good angle right now.
Yes, he does, and he's being very quiet there. Hack City and Yempty are going to be on the back foot there, so Fuzzface could be the element of surprise in this duel. Here comes Gaxi. Here comes Larson. Miracle will follow suit. They want to make sure they have the full boost to their best potential, to their best of loot right now. Let's see if they can make it work as Gaxi's just on the other side of the hill here. Fuzzface waiting for him. It might be indeed a very bad surprise just waiting to happen. Circle strangling now. Not a lot of time left for these 2 teams. Let's see who gets the chicken dinner. Is it going to be FaZe again, or do Kingwin have their chance at it? They have a chicken dinner to their name as well, but a second one will surely help him out. Larson gets himself dinked down. He's going to have to fall back from the fight. That puts Yempty in a good spot to take Miraku down as well, but Miraku is not going to be peeking in. It's going to be Gaxi instead. Gaxi cannot connect his shots there. Fuzzface waiting for his moment to pounce in. Gaxi, though, just sliver of life left. He's going to have to heal himself as well, but the circle is coming in. They have a bit of it left. And they're going to have to take that one there. Yempty and Fuzzface have some sort of a play going on here. They're both grouping up. Yempty's still taking shots. Miraku will spot the enemy and return fire, but none will connect on Yempty.
Actually also on the wide flank here, trying to make a play as well. They are also, everybody's inside the zone here. Haxedi and Yempty standing in the background trying to defend this push from them, but now Kingwin is making the move here, trying to go on a wide flank, all of them together, but Fuzzface has smelled what's going on.
Yeah, Haxedi trying to make sure that nobody's actually flanking them. Fuzzface now will spot his enemies here. They're going to be close by, but Fuzzface gets himself knocked out. It will be Kingwin 3 strong against Yempty and Haxedi, who are now split apart. They have the double-pronged attack, but the circle this time around swings to the favor of Kingwin, and Miraku is on it. Fuzzface gets himself eliminated. A trade might happen here as Haxedi peeks out. Yempty slowly moving forward as well. Haxedi peeks in, not to find the members of Kingwin anymore. They're rotating back into the circle and will try to keep Haxedi coming in from the other side. They might know of his position at this moment in time. They haven't seen anything from him, so they should guess of his spot. But Yempty takes the shot. Gaxi falls down. With that, he could potentially push in. Haxedi might go as well. Yes, there he goes. Yempty.
They have to play this. They have to push on this right now. Yempty has no helmet, though. Haxedi has to help him right now, but they're trying to go for the rest.
Oh, the rest. It might happen indeed. No, it won't. Larson here's his enemy. Doesn't know exactly where he is, but now he's making a move here. Yempty playing it slow. Larson, no need to peek, but he does do that indeed, and he finds the shot as well. That M249 beasted it in this situation, and Haxedi to fall, as well as the JG and the chicken dinner with 20 kills goes to Team Kingwin.
Gaxi 9 kills, Miracle 6 kills, Vard 3 and Larson 2. Holy wow, 20 kills.
Wow, man. How does that happen? Now, that's a game. Now that is a game from Kingwin.
That is a record. I've never seen 20 kills, more than 20 kills on a land like this. Never.
Yeah.
Fantastic play by them.
A bunch of beasts. FaZe not so happy. But then again, they got the second place, which isn't bad at all for their chicken dinner.
Nope.
Sorry, for their standings. So, wow. Kingwin are on fire right now.
Fantastic play for them. They didn't get a chicken dinner yesterday, did they?
Larson Hearts in the chat. They did.
They got one. Yeah, right.
They did.
But they really needed this.
on the interview.
They right. They really needed this though. They were falling down a bit here. Miramar is not their favorite map, but still, holy wow, 20 kills in a week.
That's how they make it happen,
insane.
man. And
Yep.
Larson was saying yesterday that the one reason why they got the chicken dinner, he's a pragmatic man.
Oh yeah, indeed.
He said the reason why he got the chicken dinner yesterday, or his team, was because they were gifted the circle, as we call it sometimes. He was being realistic, but he was being more humble. This time they didn't have the circle. They had to fight for it.
Yeah.
Only the last one was actually onto them, but the ones before were completely and utterly real shows, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, they had to fight for it, and they did a great job. Congratulations to Team Kingwin for winning that one there. And this is our time to I do believe this is our time to say our goodbyes.
It is
Martin,
indeed.
any parting words?
Nothing else than thank you for a fantastic cast. It was my first time casting a major event, and it was a pleasure as always casting with you. Fantastic, especially on Miramar, where you can educate me a bit on the Spanish towns.
And you can
that.
pretty much educate me on anything else in PUBG.
No, it's okay. Fantastic
pro.
play for them. 4 fantastic games.
Yeah.
2 wins on Ghost, and a 20 kill win on Kingwin. I'm gonna remember that. That's gonna go in the record books.
Indeed, that's one for the history. Indeed, thank you again from me as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're not done just yet. If you're thinking we're done, we're not. There's 4 more matches coming up with 2 lovely casters as well. So, guys, thank you so much for sticking around here. The GLL finals are about to close down halfway, and we are here with our analyst desks, finally saying bye-bye.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Boogie and Avenger. You guys have been fantastic. And the end of that match was also fantastic. It delivered on all fronts. Kingwin there, not looking in the best of shapes. FaZe had the dominant position with regards to the circle and the lay of the land. But Kingwin made the plays that were necessary and came out on top.
If you would have asked me there, like towards the tail end, I would have 100% said FaZe has this. Like I was thinking, even at the point when the circle wasn't yet decided exactly on top of them, when they were on the little mountains there, and everyone else was trying to take the compounds around on the north, west and east side of the road. You thought they were still the ones that they probably had the best position because they were never trapped in anything. And then obviously when the circle landed on them, everyone had to be running towards them. You were thinking, okay, they should definitely be capitalizing this.
Andy, what could have FaZe done better in the closing moments of the match to, finish it secure their position?
While they still had the zone on that, then Kingwin had to basically come out, basically turn around and just do that flank stuff that they were doing. I think if FaZe would have been like a little bit laying down there, and let Jempty to be the one a little bit, get their attention. Yeah, being baiting and taking those headshots that he did there. Jempty was on fire, picking up like one tap there and getting them low. In that point when basically, when Jempty said that he got the 2 guys low, he probably saw the headshots. Either then, FaZe could have maybe taken a little aggressive peek and try out to see when they're healing, maybe take one out, or just wait till they come over there, because basically Kingwin saw FaZe when they overpeaked the hill a little bit. If FaZe would have just been laying down there and sliding and just waited the right moment to peak, those 1v1s that Kingwin won there were really important. That's how they won it.
It did feel as though FaZe's position where he was kind of at the front and they hadn't spotted him was strong, but then that became a bit of an Achilles heel once that circle change. He had to run back, and then he realized, I actually can't need to stay here, and he kind of got caught out of position, right, Natu?
Yeah, I'm not sure if Empty was watching it.
It's easy to say from here watching in, but I mean, you would think like in that situation how the call eyes would be. Empty having that good angle, he knows where they are, and FaZe is so up close, and they know at least 2 players are just in that vicinity, right? Then maybe the other player could have made a move as well. He could have been on the flank, and then they could have attacked together from 3 different angles. Basically, one is supporting, one is up close, and one is on the flank. It's easy. Hindsight is 2020.
I think they wanted to hide Max's position as long as possible to actually use him as a surprise, basically surprise flank. Not like if they would let them know that where everybody is, Kingwin could have played for that as well. Yeah,
but my point was like, once EMT did get those tags, right? So they knew that they had 2 players that had to fall back. Make a call at that point, like push. Everyone would be making a move at that point, put it down. But in like the great scheme of things, it makes sense what you said, that they want him to have him as a surprise factor.
We can do a bit more analysis shortly, but right now Kelly is stood by with Larson from the winning team, Kingwin.
Thank you so much, Paula. Like you said, I got Larson here with me taking this win, but this was a very special win. 20 kills, that's so much. Were you guys planning on being more overly aggressive during this game, or did it just work out in your favor?
We definitely plan to be more aggressive. It's the only way we really win games. You'll never see us like get a second place or third place with 2 or 3 kills. So we've just been playing really not our own game, but we actually came back to the roots, and we just, we're not going to play for a good spot in the circle, just find one place, and then when the circle updates, we'll just push the team if we have to. And we kind of just fought our way throughout the entire game instead of just, closing our eyes, hoping the circle will go there. But we're very used to having very explosive games.
Yeah, speaking of explosive, you guys falling into that Optic compound so confidently, it looked like that was going to be Optic's win there, but you guys didn't even lose a single person. What happened?
I mean, we just knew they were between us and the circle, and there's only one way through, and it was to kill them. So, I mean, there wasn't really, we just sold our ankles and we ran straight in there. We're very confident in ourselves if we play our own game, and we think we can beat any team.
Well, like the analysts were just saying, that looked like that was FaZe's game. They had that position up on the mountain where the circle seemed like it was closing in on them. How were you guys able to maneuver and shift around so that you had the advantageous position?
I mean, none of us, we don't cluster up. We spread out throughout the entire mountain. We wait for them to make a move. We saw Mexi came in, so when Mexi came, we pushed us 3, and then we kind of just played together. One was always holding our back, while 1 or 2 others were making a move. And that's how we got the advantageous trades. FaZe were kind of going one by one. And that's how they lost it.
Well, congratulations, and that's just half of the games today. You have 4 more games left. How are you guys? Okay, I was going to ask how you're feeling, but maybe I know. Is there anything you want to?
We've just not been playing like we usually do. Hopefully, we can get a lot more games like this, or at least go out with a bang.
Well, thank you for joining me here, and congratulations on that win. Guys, don't go anywhere because we're going to head back to our analysts one last time before a quick break.
Thank you, Kelly, and I'm loving that from Larson, saying that during that Optic compound sort of storm, the circle, we knew where it was, and Optic were simply in between that and us, so we had to take them out.
Yeah, I mean, it's better to think that way than thinking how do we get around them, right? I mean, you got to take a fight when you got to take a fight, and then if you're confident in how you play, you have everything nailed down in the way that you play, no problem. Obviously, as we can tell, 20 kills in the game, they are more than willing and comfortable playing an aggressive play.
I mean, that's equivalent to taking out 5 teams. It's almost like a third of the players on the field. That's a feat within itself, isn't it, Andy?
It is. It is. Every time you get everybody just plays their game. And you don't even count the kills when you play. You have no, after the game, you know if it was actual, how much you fought in the game, and you know you worked for that dinner.
And those 20 kills will net them 80 points yeah.
Yeah, 80.
That will be 80 points.
Matt's live stream, Paula, you never
never a good. Hey, I got it right.
I'm just saying.
Double checked in my head for a second. So they'll be getting 180 points from that game, which will surely rocket them up the leaderboard.
Yeah, we got another.
And the leaderboard is ready, so we can look at that right now whilst we continue our points.
Top 4. No?
180 Kingwin, 112 for FaZe. No Luke got 81, and Lumbermill were in.
I'm guessing
4th
they're
with
5th.
67.
I'm guessing they're 5th. 5th or 4th.
Something like that, yeah.
And so the overall leaderboard.
So tight knit.
Yeah, it is.
Except for now FaZe has a 100-point lead over.
Yeah. So the overall leaderboard now reads FaZe at 826, putting them, as Nata just pointed out, 100 points ahead of their closest competition, Optic. And then after that, it's still relatively close, maybe from Kingwin back up to them. What would you say, Natu?
Yeah, that's as we've seen, it seems to be a case of a couple teams of FaZe has been rather consistently up there, so they're going to keep racking up points, but then it just keeps. It seems like there is a bit of a mix-up between the teams that are making the deep runs otherwise.
And we're halfway through the day now, and so if we start thinking about the points left, who could lose, who could win, those guys at the bottom, they're pretty much, at this point, having to say goodbye to the chances of raising that trophy.
Still Lumbermill is fighting. They haven't won a single game, but they're still consistently being in the later stage of the game. Imagine if they now manage to pick up a game or two. They launch themselves into the top spot. But it still feels like this is FaZe's to lose. Obviously, they're 100 points ahead. And they are constantly enough hitting really high positions for themselves to think that in the tail end of the day they will still continue this trend and then should be at least top 3, right?
Yeah. Lothar is ready now to break down one of the moments you guys wanted to bring up from the match. How's it going? Is it snowing right now? What's happening?
No, it's still sunny. I don't think
Okay.
we'll ever see snow in Miramar.
Okay. Just double checking, you know, snow in the desert could be a thing.
You never know, right? Egypt had snow at some point, so we'll see. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is two teams that had a very interesting fight, which brings us to Crimson and Na'Vi. So before we start with this replay, I just wanted to point out something that was that is like a bread and butter in FPS games in general, which is trading, and it's a good example of what will happen here. So let's play it in a slow motion, because right now we see that Crimson is approaching Na'Vi, who are just in the middle. Like they will be surrounded by Crimson coming from 3 different angles. And now what will happen is that Na'Vi will return fire to Crimson from this angle, and then Lockwood will join the fight and get that trade, which is very important because they're being caught up by the zone. And if they're not going to win the fight, they're going to lose the... even if they're going to win the fight, but it's going to be too late, they're going to be caught up by the zone and just lose the entire game anyway. So there's an important situation when Crimson did take the trade right now. Can we pause right now? Here we go. Now we can see one of the players from Crimson, he's dead. Like, there's no way you can rescue him at this point when he's outside of the zone. You still have battle ahead of you. And you know, by the way, to give you some context, that C9 was shooting at Na'Vi, and also there are members from C9 actually from this angle coming as well, which is very interesting because C9 was split. And they were in a different position the entire game. So that's a very interesting thing to point out. And at the same time now, Crimson has to make a very interesting decision. Because now... let me paint the picture. Here we have a dip. That is a good situation for Crimson to approach the game from this side. So they are being hidden from C9. And at the same time, NBS has those smokes ahead of him. So we can just approach Na'Vi and help his teammate Lockwood. Lockwood, at the same time, he doesn't really have to do anything because he knows Poker is knocked. And until NBS will help him out, he can't really fight. Now, let's play it again, further down the line. Let me just delete those lines that I draw. They're going to be, if I remember correctly, a nade. Here we go. That nade did knock second member of Na'Vi. And now this is the moment when the strategy changes. Crimson knows that there's only one member left from Na'Vi that is being alive, or not knocked, and they will have to be aggressive to end the team fight as soon as possible and just rescue themselves from the zone. So this is one of the examples where it's important to have the trade being ready, because if you're being hesitant, you're going to be punished. And that punish can come from someone else than the team that you're fighting in, and especially in a map like Miramar, when there's a lot of open fields, so you need to be aware of the surroundings. Andy, I wanted to actually ask you, since you also are a CSGO player, when you play PUBG, you have to rely on your improvisation skills, but at the same time on the terrain knowledge, right? And how does that apply to trading, in your opinion?
It's basically your positioning. You need to have the same, you need to have vision on the person, like immediately that your friend is challenging from. Mm-hmm. So you cannot be on the spot and basically not see the guy. If you want to trade, you want to know where the guy is. So imagine when you're trading, they knew exactly where Na'Vi was. And that quick decisioning, that even though they lost one member, they threw the nades and they kept moving in. All right, Cloud9 basically just got them off guard later, but they just kept moving forward and constantly moving to the blue, not forgetting that that's an enemy as well in the game.
Yeah.
But when they trade, they were already spread out. So they had all different angles towards Na'Vi. One Crimson guy gets knocked out, but you got a side shooting there. The first Crimson guy was the first guy who actually even started the fight, so basically he just took the attention of 3 Na'Vi members before the fight started. So that's why they had perfect flank and trade happening there.
Yeah.
Also, I think something that needs to be noted and something for people to account for also is the time window that a player has in a trade kill to actually react is less. I'd say less than half a second marginally, that you have that opportunity before the player can reset his aim and be able to shift his focus to you. So we're talking about really, really small margins where you need to be, like you said, like Andy said, positioning yourself correctly, but also reacting and have that initiative.
It's also very impressive when you talk about pro players in PUBG, since all those situations, they cannot be practiced. every single team fight you have in PUBG is unique. It's something that you probably didn't...
But you can practice teamwork and the movement. That's what we saw
Yes.
in Kingwin on the end when they had two guys basically butt cheeks together running for fast face without needing that trade, but they had one guy instantly ready taking that trade.
Yeah, but when it comes to terrain, you're encountering a new situation every single
All the time,
gunfight.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
that's why you need to basically focus on that.
All right, well, just wanted to point that out because I think it's a really interesting thing about the game itself and brings a new dimension to entire tactical approach to those gunfights. Anyway, that's it for me.
Thank you, Lothar. Fantastic as always. And guys, appreciate your input as well. Any final thoughts about what we've just seen?
I think we covered it pretty well in terms of trade kill.
I'm curious now, though. I want to know what Yemchi what he was watching.
You can go and ask him.
I'm gonna go ask him, but I'm gonna let you guys know later because I want to know because basically they had perfect plan there, and I know FaZe guys, they always say that no, we didn't play our own game, blah blah blah, but there has to be some kind of reason. But it was both of the game. Kingwin played it really well in the end as well. They won those 1v1s, as Larsen said, that it was 1v1 the whole time, or it's basically 1v3 in some points. So I'm now curious. I just want to know.
Indeed. Well, we will find that out shortly, and we will also be going on about a 7-minute break before we start off the second half of the day, and that would also mean it's the final quarter of the entire tournament. And when we return, before we get into that 5th match of today, we will be doing a little backstage tour, and I'll be showing you guys around and talking to some players, maybe my colleagues as well, and it should be quite some fun. So don't go anywhere, get a drink, grab some snacks, and we will see you when we get back.